All right, guys, welcome back to the show. It's Titus with my co-host Thomas. We're going to go over, and I told you guys we're going to keep track of our hunts this year on the podcast, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let us know. You can email us at midvalleymercenaries@gmail.com, or you can just send a message in or put in a review in iTunes. But anyways, we're going to talk today about goose hunt. If you don't watch the channel, which I'm sure a lot of you probably do, but if you don't, we're just going to give like a weekly update on our hunts through the season, whether it's in California or collab with all the guys from the Flyway Collective in Kansas, or when we go to some other places. We're just going to keep you guys in tuned and maybe a little bit more of this details that kind of don't get put in a video or something. So anyways, Thomas, start us out with this goose hunt. That's something we don't really get to do a whole lot.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Like you said, we were lucky.
Well, we're going to end,
blessed.
by the way, we're going to keep these short, too. They're going to be
Yes.
about 15 minutes.
Right. We were blessed to be able to go on this hunt. We're not in a heavily populated area of honkers close by where we live, so I just happened to have an emergency job. I work for PG&E out here in California, and we had a carpool, and so we were replacing it, and as I was working, I kept hearing honkers. I'm like, what? It was kind of in the back of my mind, I was busy working and having my mind on other things, but like I would hear the sounds, you know what I mean? Like, what in the world? Like, like I said, we don't have a lot around here, so I was like, huh.
If there is any around here, they're all at parks. Literally,
Right.
Parks are holding ponds
Yes.
that are, and you can't hunt.
Right. So, anyways, I kept hearing it. I was looking over there, and I noticed some birds flying. I was just like, okay, that's cool. Whatever. I didn't think too much about it. But as we finished up and I was headed back to the yard, I was driving back, and I noticed on my right-hand side, there was probably 300 plus honkers in this cornfield. And I'm like, what? And this was right at sunset, like just after the sun went down. And I'm like, what in the world? Kind of like, man. And I knew that early goose season was coming up. We are actually in one of the only areas of the state that has early goose. Some other guys in California don't have it, but we do. But we haven't been able to capitalize on it. So anyways, I was kind of slowed down and was checking it out. And I saw this field worker's car pulling out of this field. And so I stopped and got out and was like, hey, how's it going? Chit-chatting. And I was like, hey, do you guys work this dairy? Because it was a cornfield for a dairy. Do you guys work this dairy? And they're like, no, but we know, who it is and blah, blah, blah. I think the owner's house is right there. I was like, huh, all right. And by now, I'm kind of gun shy of asking for permission because it's just always been the same result. But I was like, man, I should just do it. You know what I mean? So I turned around, I went over to the guy's house, and it was dark already, and I kind of felt bad for even knocking on his door. It was only like 7 o'clock, but it was dark already, and, lo and behold, he answered, and he's like, hey, how's it going? And I was like, hey, would you be okay with me and my brother and a friend hunting, that field? And he was kind of like, he wasn't really too sure about it at first, but we kind of started talking, and, I know some people that he knew, and he kind of warmed up, and he's like, you know what? All right, yeah, that'd be fine, And
I don't know. Who'd you know that was the same?
Well,
I mean, like someone that works for
a guy I work with every day knows
How'd you figure that
went
out,
to school with his daughter.
How'd you figure that out?
Because
though?
I asked him first. I was like,
so
hey,
you knew he knew
so
somebody.
yeah, he's married to a pretty decent sized dairy out here. His wife's family.
Oh,
owns,
but how'd you know that in advance though?
Because I talked to him. I was working with him. So we were working
and
at
he
the location.
said he
right.
knew who that was.
He thought it was this person, and it was. I was like, hey, because we were working literally right by it. like one field over. And I was like, you guys know, do you know whose dairy that is? He's like, I think it's this. And he was right. But anyways, so I had actually mentioned that. I was like, hey, I work with so-and-so, this and that. He's like, oh, okay. He didn't really know too well, but his wife did. And that kind of helped her warm up a little bit. She's like, oh, yeah, he went to school with my daughter. I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I work with him, and this and that. But anyways, yeah, like I said, the longer you talk, the more they kind of maybe try to see what kind of person you are, But anyways, that was kind of a long story, but it was just kind of amazing for us to get permission right here close to home, because everything's either locked down with people who don't want you to hunt, or they hunt and they don't want no one else to, or whatever the case might be. It's pretty difficult. But anyways, so yeah, got permission on a Tuesday, I believe, and the opener.
I don't know, but I'm trying to remember what you said to me when you called. I don't remember what you
I think I said
something like the golden ticket, or
I think I was still kind of wary because it was Tuesday and opener was on Saturday.
It was the following Saturday.
It was the same week.
No.
Yeah.
Yes. It wasn't, dude.
Was it?
No.
Okay.
Because you were like, dude, it's over a week away. It wasn't no Tuesday. I think it was later than that in the week. Because I remember you saying, I was like, man, I hope they're still there. Yeah, I was worried too, because I was like, man, that's like 8 or 9 days, or 9 or 10 days away still.
Yeah. So really, man, it was all about timing, because this particular guy had like 4 cornfields, and 3 of them were cut. He was cutting the 4th one, the one that we actually ended up hunting, and he was starting to disc the next day. And I was like, oh man. I mean, so many things could happen between that time. They could decide.
That was my deal, was like, dude, they're going to be discing that before we even.
Yeah. Farming practices out here are just, as soon as you cut it, you're discing it and planting it. It's like there's no rest time.
Think about this too. That cornfield that we laid in wasn't cut, you said.
Right.
That's kind of crazy, because, I mean, I guess we could have stood up in the corn and shot them as they came over, but it kind of might have been good that it was cut like that.
Yeah, so the field they were landing in was already disced. Or no, it was disced like right after that. But they continued to go there the whole time. But the field that we hunted in, it wasn't even cut. They were cutting it. So anyways, yeah, it was a long, long time before we were able to hunt. And, so many other things could happen. You could have other people come in there and hunt. You could have the birds just decide to go to a different place. Whatever. There's so many things. So I was excited, but I was kind of leery at the same time. I was like, hey, let's not get super excited, but I might have the golden ticket. I think it was something kind of like that.
I was the one, I think you thought I was being a little negative, because the closer it got, you were like, we're gonna get him good, and I was like, remember, because you were kind of I think you were getting annoyed at me because I was being a little bit, I wasn't being negative, but those stupid honkers are the smartest birds I've ever hunted, literally. And I was just like, a million things could happen. A field worker can drive out there and lay out, or come out there and bug us, or someone saying, do you have permission? Like, just any stupid thing could have thrown that whole hunt off. So I just didn't want to count on chickens before they hatch. But anyways, you asked Travis a couple days before.
Yeah. So I mentioned to Titus the first night.
Yeah, but we didn't say nothing. We didn't really talk much about it after that.
Yeah.
And then Jordan from the Duck Gun podcast, but technically he works at HTR Innovations. It was weird because he hit me. We were talking about buying layouts, and he hit me up Tuesday. Was it Monday or Tuesday? Tuesday. And it was late in the afternoon already. Well, it was like midday for me, but for them, 3 hours ahead or whatever they were. You know what I mean? It was like, oh man. He's like, hey, do you ever have any need for like a layout? And I go, it's funny you say that. I said, actually, we need it, but we need it Friday. Like, we need it now.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we can do that. I can get it. He goes, I got like 30 minutes left to ship this out. And so he said, I'll ship it out right now. And I said, yeah, dude, if it can be here Friday, I said, we'll use it, put in the videos, and it'll be great. And he got it done. It showed up Friday at like, I don't remember, like 12 or 1 o'clock our time, and put those bad boys in use. And
yeah, they worked good.
Yeah. So then Friday night, we drove out there and spotted them out.
Well, I had stopped by on Thursday morning.
Yeah.
So opener was Saturday.
And they weren't there, right?
Yeah, and they weren't there, which I didn't expect them to be there, because when I saw them the first night, they were coming in around 5 to 6, and when I was headed out, the sun had went down and they had all taken off. So my guess, well, not my guess, what they were doing is basically coming into a pond, getting a drink, getting up, going into that cornfield and eating until the sun went down, and then getting up, flying back and roosting overnight somewhere else. So,
well, that wasn't your guess, because if you were there Thursday morning, you didn't know all that was going on. We didn't find that out till Friday night, unless you had went there another night, did you?
Right, yeah.
That's when we figured that out.
Yeah.
So it was literally the night before we seen that. So
which, I mean, you'd have to do it anyway.
Right, I'm just saying you didn't.
I didn't know then. I'm saying we know now.
Yeah. Well, we knew Friday night after that.
Right. So I honestly wasn't worried, because the total numbers, I started to get worried like around 6 o'clock, because they didn't start flying till 6:30.
On the dot, almost.
Like literally on the nose. Like
we sat there for, I think you got there at 4, probably.
Yeah, something.
And
like
I got there just. Did I get there at the same time? Or anyways, yeah, we sat there and just ate Taco Bell. I went and got us Taco Bell. Travis came over.
Mm-hmm.
We sat there and we're like, Thomas is losing it. There's no birds in this field.
Uh-huh.
And then 6:30 on the money. Travis is out there tweaking. There they come. There they are. I see him.
Yeah.
I couldn't even see him.
Travis.
It's like, I don't know how he sees that far.
Oh, man, dude. He was driving me nuts almost on
I know. I wish he could have been here.
Was it Friday night? Yeah, Friday night.
You know why? Because if he was sitting here right now, he'd be so chilled out. Just like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, just, you know what I'm saying?
The other thing is, though, that's what I love about Travis, too, though. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, who wants to go with somebody that don't get excited?
Exactly.
So,
no, we harass him, but we love it.
Yeah.
It's just funny how chilled out he is any other time. He acts like nothing will get him excited.
He acts like he hasn't gotten sleep in 5 years. And then some birds start flying, and he literally goes from 0 to 100.
To like a 13-year-old boy. So they start, dude, and they were droves. We're like, Thomas, I don't remember what you originally told me. I want to say you said 100 birds or 200 or something. And I'm like, me and Travis like, dude, that's like 400 or 500 birds.
Yeah.
It was a lot of birds.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. And it was all family groups of like,
20,
10, 15, or even 20 sometimes. So we watched them. They left out wherever they were at. They went right into that pond, which I thought was interesting. It's like they literally were in there for 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Like to get a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Lifted up, crossed the orchard, and then come into that field about 50 yards from the edge. All of them. And just beelined it. And then the later groups didn't even stop in the pond, which I thought was kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first part of the first groups did, and then the rest of them never did. They just literally beelined it from where they were at all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And that field was all plowed up a couple times. It wasn't just one plow, I don't think. I think it was plowed twice. But obviously it stirs up that corn and stuff, and we're like looking at each other like.
What's so funny though is like birds are so weird sometimes. It's like there's cut corn all around, and they go, they're going there for whatever reason. They've patterned there, and then they disked it, and they're still going there. I mean, it's just, I guess if it's what they like and they're not being bothered, they'll do the same thing. But it's just,
I just wonder how long they were doing that, you know?
Right.
Or they did 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You barely just caught the beginning of it, you know?
Yeah. And then, like I said earlier about the timing, like we have early goose, and what are the odds? You know, everybody's cutting corn at that time.
Yeah.
And it's not replanted, because if it was replanted, we couldn't go out there, you know?
Right. Well, exactly, yeah. So, which they're really, right now, they'll just be putting wheat back in there is what they'll probably do. Just from what I know, our oats are wheat or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they probably won't plant that till for a couple of weeks or a month. But anyways, we got out there. What time did we show? I think we showed up an hour and a half early. Yeah, we showed up about 5.
Yeah.
And Travis showed up. We met at Thomas's house. I told Travis to be there at 4:15. I got there at 4 because we had to put the shot cams on.
Mm-hmm. And mine didn't work.
And his stinking network, which was such a rip-off.
That was a bummer.
That was a big bummer.
Really big bummer.
I think
you guys love those shot cams, man, but
we just like them for ourselves because it's just good to see what you did, and it's awesome to see them crumple like that.
It's a great tool.
It is a great tool.
But
that's the second one.
How many have went bad since we've had them?
That's the second one.
It's the second one.
I got to call them. I got to forward you that email they sent me to check the battery life on it because I was going to do it. I'm like, what am I doing? It's on Thomas's gun sale. So you need to check that.
All right.
But anyways, let's run through the hunt real quick. We're already at 16 minutes. This is taking way longer.
Okay.
There's a lot to it though. But anyways, let's see here.
Yeah, so we got those
Travis
blinds.
got there early. He got there he didn't get there too early, but I'd rather have him be there. Let's put it this way. You're late with us. You're getting left behind. I promise you that. The only time I would wait on somebody is if it was an afternoon hunt.
Or if they have the resi.
Yep. If they have the golden ticket,
you have the power.
You're different.
I have the power.
You got everybody by the,
cojones.
So yeah, but yeah, if you're going with me riding my truck and it's on my deal, better be here, son.
Yep.
And on time is late. Anyway, so that's good. So we load everything up. We get out there. We got there an hour and a half before we knew they'd fly.
We dug our
in the back of your mind, it is kind of creepy thinking, what if they changed
fly
their
early?
Yeah. So even though Travis, I was telling him to calm down, they can do that. I was thinking the same thing. You probably were too. What if they did?
Yeah.
Dug the layouts real quick. Dug them down, which most people just leave them on top, but we dug ours down, which I think helped because we had that berm behind us, kind of.
Yeah. So we got in a berm was right behind our heads, so basically you just try to use the field to your advantage as much as you can, you know what I mean? But so we dug them down, used those HTR blinds. There was actually quite a bit of corn that was laying down in that field, so we just...
Which helped us a lot.
Yeah, that was really nice. So we just basically used that, big corn stalks, and laid over us, and it looked natural because there was already other spots with corn laying down, so that worked out nice. And then we basically just got in their flight path and let them have it.
Yeah, like I was a little nervous because at 6:30 there wasn't nothing flying. I was like, "Oh, are you kidding me?" This is exactly how I feel about honkers. Like they totally could do something like that. And then like 6:33, we seen the first group lift up. We're like, "Oh, it's on like Donkey Kong."
Yeah. Yep. So other than that, I feel like we did fairly decent. There was one group that came in. I shot all 3 shots, didn't get one. Then there was first one. There was one that came in, and I went for a triple, so I was pretty stoked about that. But they were all, good shots. I mean, they were passing shots, but they're just flying just a line right over our head. You know what I mean? It's just like boom, boom, boom. Sound like cannons.
And the thing is we were getting frustrated because, like, say if you were going for a triple, they just like those honkers are armor plated, man. Literally, you got to hit them perfectly in the head. I could see in the shot cams I was hitting some in the heads, and they were still going. It's like ridiculous. But
how do you feel about that? Shells you were using?
Good.
Heavy shot, not heavy shot. Heavy metal. I'm still sold on them.
Yeah. The new ones, you mean? The newer version they came out with the longer. What is it?
Yeah, we haven't
range?
patterned them yet, but we've shot them. I mean, these were number 4s for honkers.
Yeah, people were shocked in there.
3-inch number 4s.
Yeah, they're shocked.
Really?
I'm yeah, dude.
I bet you there's a lot of people that aren't though.
Everybody swears by BB and 2-shot for geese.
Yeah, right.
Who was that just to me today? He said, dude, what are you using? Oh, I think it was Devin. He said, what are you doing shooting honkers with 4-shot? Or something about using 2-shot. I go, dude. I said, we were shooting them in Wisconsin with 4-shot, even at 40 yards, and it was a lacing them. Yep. These are 20-yard passing, and some other people are saying too, like, oh, you should have been using decoys. They would have landed, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, dude, the situation, this is what it called for.
I think
19 birds with 3 guys in 25 minutes.
Yeah. Not
too shabby, my son. There's always someone that's got a better way.
Yeah, no, I mean, that would be fun too, but honestly, this was a blast. And
it was awesome.
We didn't have to throw decoys out.
Exactly.
I mean, I wouldn't, I don't know. That's part of it too, and I enjoy it. I mean, man, it was a blast. Like I wouldn't change anything about it, really.
No. And it wouldn't have worked anyways. We'll talk about that next week, but
honestly, it wouldn't have worked.
No. I 100% know it wouldn't have.
No.
They had their pattern.
In this particular situation where we hunted, it wouldn't have worked.
Well, and we'll tell you another reason. We'll prove to you another reason that it wouldn't. So, but anyways, yeah, it goes against the grain of what some people do, We weren't calling, we didn't have decoys out, but I mean, 19 birds
and
19 honkers.
We didn't mention that our shooting window was only like 20 minutes.
I know. I just said that.
Oh, did you?
Here. Yeah, I said 19 birds with 3 guys in 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And that was because that's all we had.
Yeah.
The sunset was
we only had 3
25 minutes after they started flying.
Yeah.
And yeah, I forgot to say that in the video. I wish I would have. But if we would have waited them, the decoy would have even been later, dude.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. And they would have been too dark to shoot.
Yeah, these birds were getting up late and we were going till the end of shoot time, so it was just like a mad scramble.
Literally. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. So we were dropping almost 5 at a time.
Yeah. Every group almost.
So
basically we shot, we only had like 4 or 5 volleys.
I don't know if we had how many shells did you shoot? You shot 16?
I thought I said it was 14 or 16.
Yeah.
14.
I thought it was
14
because I had and like 2 I shot 18. 2 of them were at to finish birds off. So
yeah. And the bummer is you could see
7,
a lot of them when I'd shoot
6.
them once and
Yeah.
you could see it hit them, but it was like maybe too far back on their chest.
Mm-hmm.
So then you'd shoot them again in the head, and that's because a lot of those were. I mean, if you guys watch that video, if you want to go watch it, what did I call it? What did I say that was? They didn't see it coming on our channel development Mercenaries, and most of those that we shot were stone cold dead. I think we had a couple of cripples, but that's just poor shooting.
Right.
So
yeah.
Anyways, I think that's about most of the update of that, huh?
Yep.
We got another one coming next week on another hunt update and a video. You'll probably already see the video by then if you watch channels. So,
how many days out are we
from duck season? It's I just looked at my app and it said
it's about time to start checking resis.
6. Yeah, this Saturday we should be able to check. I thought it said 16 days. Yeah, 16 days. 7 hours, 22 minutes, 36 seconds, boys. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Hope you enjoy these. Let us know if you guys like these hunt updates. We'll keep them rolling, all right? See you guys later.